All right, guys, we are online now. So in today class, right? If we go back and look at the our tutorial here, what is that? Yeah. So we look at yesterday what color, correct? So when you deal with the color, right? Like basically, what is the text color or background BG color? Just remember few things, like the beginning one, right? One or two examples you have to remember, okay? So in your notebook, right, this is just my advice, okay, I mean just my suggestion, right? I mean you can remember any way you want, but just to remember something like on every topic, right? Because there are so many properties are basically CSS classes, right? And it's not possible to remember, okay? All the value is not possible to remember. What you can do, for text, fine, that is text, simple text, right? Color. So whatever the color you can put, that there is two way, right? One is the built-in color like red, and whatever the intensity, right? Or we call it shade, right? Okay, that is one way. The other one way is text square bracket and you put on your own class, your own color, right? That is the second way. Okay. Update, remind me, skip, remind me later, fine. So all right, I am here, right? So that is, you have to remember, okay? That is color. Similarly, the color can be used in what places, like background color, border, all that, right? Place color, gradients color. So you can check couple of gradient color, maybe create one heading, one paragraph, whatever box or element, and add the gradient, right? And experiment there. So for every topic there is a details, this is the good resource, I'm telling you, right? This is the good resources to look at all the information you need. Okay, so as I said, the color you can, I mean I talked about study already about all this, but still I'm just quick revision, right? So that is the color. Same thing with the background. Okay, the background, yesterday I said I will show you how to add the background image to your Tailwind config file, right? How are we going to do that one? So I have added the example already, you can look at that. If you look at here, right, see, extend inside the theme extend. So this is like theme dot extend, right? Because theme is what, object, and inside the extend you can add background image. See, in our normal CSS what we do, background dash image, like this, remember that? So any property, right, with hyphen, you must change to the first character after hyphen will be capitalized, okay? Background image. So this is the property built in inside. This is the property now, right? Which has already, I mean, once you put some, like in the extend, if you put any property like this here, right? Now you have access. I mean, how this Tailwind whole platform work, right? When you extend something inside here, then you can access in our basically in our code, right? So if I go back to my, let's say I added the background image, and here is the name of the image, okay? The property is nature, right? And URL is here, okay? I just added here. You can add now many as you can, right? So let's maybe let's say hero, that is hero image, right? And I'll just put the URL here, okay? So I can get the access to this hero now. Let's imagine this is one nature, right? So I will go back, I will just put 2 here, okay? That is the bg2, right? Okay, we have 2 images in our image folder. Okay, so see how we can access this one. Let's look at that quickly. So in app.js, okay, let me delete all this from yesterday. I'll just clean it all, right? So just imagine I have one div, right, where I want to add an image, correct? So what should I do now? I have to apply class name, correct? And then bg dash So my image name was what? Remember what I added in the config file? That is nature, right? So I'll just look for nature now. Nature, look at here. See, I have access now, right? I can just leave it like that. Okay, so let's see if this work, right, or not in our live view, right? So I will go to the terminal and npm run dev, right, to run the project. So there is something wrong. Okay, so I'm inside Tailwind CSS. I need to go to the one, right, to cd one dot Tailwind CSS project. Okay, and then only I can do npm run dev. There I must select, right, I must select the project folder first. Okay, so it's already online. I will do control and the click and the page will open, right? So right now I don't see any image here. Remember a long back, right, when we're learning, when you have any image, you must provide background image, you must give the height, because see, the page does not have any height, right? Let's look at here. This background image, this div does not have any height right now. If I can go back here, right, and I say, I can say maybe, okay, let's give a border. Okay, border, maybe I will make it number, right? Let's make it 5. Okay, and then I will give a color of the border, right? Border what color? Red, maybe 700, something like that. Okay, let's look at it. Still I don't see anything, correct? I hope that is fine. Okay, I see now, right? There is a border. Look at here, border, that just on the top. That means what? There is no, there is no space inside. You must provide the height, right, for element. When the element start first, it is like a, remember, it is like nothing inside. It's just empty, right? Just like collapsed together. But if you add something here, heading 1 and hero page, right? So you're gonna see something now. Look at here. Now it's expanding, correct? It's just expanding, right? So I can change the text color maybe to white. So let's just add here class name, or I can add anything here, right, will be white. So text, let's make it white for now. So you can see the white text here, right? But it just started expanding now. But we don't know how big you want, right, this image to be. So that's why you have to provide that. We're going to learn about the height, spacing, all that today, right? So in our today class. So let's say height, maybe there is something called screen, right? If I make it screen height, so what can happen? So that it just took the whole screen size, correct? Screen height. So now you can play around, right? You can give height, width, and all that. We will check on how much height, width, how to apply all that. Okay, we can check in the next class. But that was the one thing I said I will show you tomorrow on the background image. You can add here what the number of images, as many as you can, right? You can add here. Just give the name, and in the same way you have access, right? BG, whatever here. Okay, the name. Clear? That is one way. The other one we checked yesterday already, right? You can do let's say if another div, you want to have a background image here, the bg dash, right, and then in this curly bracket. This example is in online. Okay, you can check in our code right here. That's it. So in URL you put the link, the link of our, what you call that, the link of our background image, right? So let's say this is the link. I will just copy this and put it here. Okay, the problem now, right, there is the quotation same inside and outside. That will create a problem, so you must wrap it with different quotation, right? Done. So if I will remove this one for now, and this is background 1, right? So let's check. So it's still there is a height 100%, but the image is not displaying. So okay, so what should be now? We can just give a height, right? Let's give it height. Let's give a little bit of maybe 60, right? And let's width of maybe 60 square box. You see, that is the image already, right? So you can use even this way also. Now there are all kind of the property for the background image, like background position, background size, background like repeat, all that, right? So that is all BG. What would be now BG, like a center, background position in the center, background size, maybe BG, let's call it a contain, I think cover maybe, yeah. So see, it just got centered and cover, right? See that, to that size. Okay, so the background is little bit confusing part, I mean, but just look at, give us some try, just practice with a different way. You can even the next one was adding style tag. We saw that yesterday already with style, CSS style property, right? Like you're gonna have style here, and then you can insert the whole background image here now, right? So that is also possible. Okay guys, so that is 3-way. Okay, so that was all about background. Let's talk about the new class today, right? What is the today class now? So I added the example here, okay, in case you want to see example 1 using style. Then you have the second way, just using the BG and URL. The third way here is basically applying the background image object, right? Basically just add this property inside the extend in your Tailwind config file, right? And that is fine, that will work. Now in your wherever you want to use that background, just call that one, okay? And then background position, size, size, repeat, and all that, attachment, all that properties you can look at. Border, same thing, right? They start with the border, whatever the size of the border, and then the border color, and the maybe border will be designed, like border style, all there is, okay? Border, like the border, what was that, border rounded, right? Our border radius before was border radius. Now we just say rounded, and then whatever, right? You apply whatever size you can give it. So you can check for all different kind of size, for the border radius, okay? So that is the border radius. I mean, you can check on that as well. So let's look at now the today class, right? Typography is the first one, okay? Typography. So let's go back here. Now we're going to talk typography. So what is typography now, right? What is typography? Can you remember from our CSS class? Just try to remember, right? If I say typography, what you can think of? Anyone want to talk about typography? When
basically
we say
the font.
Yeah, the font, right?
The
It's just
font size and
okay. Yes. So in typography, you're gonna learn about how to apply the Google fonts, right? Even there is built-in fonts you can use. In Tailwind there are like a couple of fonts already added, right? 3 different font classes, okay? So we're gonna learn how to use external font from Google font. We're gonna do that one. The next, you're gonna learn about how to increase the size, bold, all different kind of properties, right, will be there for the font. There is text, the line height, remember all that, right, before. So we will check now. We will just go through a couple of important properties, and try to understand. That will be the typography, right? So yeah, let's go back and check now. So the font, the font family, right? The font family was to apply the font, correct? Font family. So if we look at this document, okay, let me increase, right, little bit, so it will be much more clear. Okay, this clear now? Okay, hope that is clear, right? So there are three uh, font family, right? They have given the class name for font family, okay, like a font sans, font serif, and font mono, right? So these are already there inside the Tailwind, okay? So if we go back and let's build something. Let's maybe have a h1 tag, right? Okay, inside here. So learning typography, right? Typography. Now, how I'm going to use the any classes for typography? Same, you know. So what is the name of the font now, right? So you don't have to do font family and all that. These are the already included inside, right? Inside that one single name, okay? One single name. That is font sans, right? So for font family, simply you're gonna call font sans, right? Like that, okay? So let's go online and check and see the difference, right? How it maybe looks, okay? Okay, let's keep it like this. I will expand a little bit, yeah. So that is font sans. If you look at here now, when you bring the cursor, right, see the font sans class name has font family, all that, right, built in. Okay, you get a whole packet, right, like that. So that is font sans. Sometimes you're gonna, okay, let's remove this and save, right, and see what happened. So see, by default, right, that is what you get, you know. I mean, even if you don't put, let's inspect and see what happened, right? So in the, if we look at here now, see that font family, what we just look at. So that is by default, okay, all our element getting that font already, right? So you don't have to apply that. Now the next one, maybe font like a serif, right? And save this. So now it changed, look at here. So it just changed now to the font serif style. Clear? Is that okay? Let me little bit, yeah, so I think fine. So that is font serif, right? There is font mono also, okay, font mono. I might close this one, okay. So the font mono, right? The third one is font mono, okay. So if we look at the font mono and save, and that is what it looks like. So there are three different kind of font. Now, how we can use our own default, if you want to use your own font, right? In that CSS project, the last one, the challenge 8, you know, there is like a, I think there is 2 different font to use, right? So how are we going to use our own font? So let's quickly look at Google font. So here I have already added, right, this one. So I mean, there are maybe different way to do, right, but let's do it simple way, what I know already. So just copy this link, the link here, link, okay, just copy that link, right? There's 2 different font. What is that? Oswald and Montserrat, right? So Oswald and Montserrat. So just copy this link and go to the index page, index HTML, okay, and place it in the somewhere here, right, above the title or somewhere you can place it. Just place it there. Done. That is one thing you have to do. The next, there is something more to do, right? So let's wait. Learning Tailwind and React. Correct. I just change the title, you know, better. Okay, now close this. We're done, right? We got this link already added here. We're done. Close that one. So let's go to the config now. Config, right? So see, we have extend background image, right? Similarly, see, this is the one property. What I will do, I'll go back, just go down, right? And font family, remember font family is the one more property now. So you can now add font family property here. Clear? So now what I'm gonna add, right? My first font family is Montserrat, right? Montserrat. So I'll just give MON, just give it moon, right? Maybe moon. Okay, let's call it moon. You can give any name, that is just the property name, okay? And then inside you put the bracket here, right, like this, and copy the font family. So Montserrat will be this one, and add it here. But you must put the quotation mark, okay? Wrap this one in quotation, so no error now, right? The next one is Oswald. So let me copy this Oswald also, and I will add here. So I'm just extending what I have already, right, inside the Tailwind. I'm just adding some new font again, couple of. So Oswald, let's call it Oswald like that, and then in the array I will just place this and then wrap it right inside the quotation mark here. Done. I have these two font now, Moon and Oswald. Save this. Okay, if I go back now, right, in my app, and I will create heading too, okay? So let's go to the project folder now. I mean in our live view, right? I'll just create heading 2, and I'll call it this is Montserrat font, right, something like that, okay? Now class name, and I will call the font that Moon, right, Moon. See that font that I get that access, I have access now, Moon, and save. See, that is what I get now, right, Montserrat. Okay, if we inspect and you can check, right, you're gonna see that font applied already, okay? So let's go back and okay, font family, so something is not correct. Why? Just look like font Moon, right, Montserrat, I don't know why it's crossed here, but what is saying, right, invalid property value, right? Maybe something is not correct then. And if I use S3, let's call it this is Oswald, right, Oswald. So class name, we can call it font dash Oswald, right? So okay, now you have Oswald font. If I click here, so again it's just saying something, right? It's some kind of error, you know. I don't know why it's giving this error. Invalid. It's selected the Oswald font here, you know, but maybe something is not correct. Okay, so I have to figure out that why. It should work perfectly, but I don't know why. Okay, so let's check now, right? Let's see if that is the so this is Oswald. Yeah, but it did not work. Okay, I think it did not work. Okay, there is something not correct, right? There is something wrong. So we will figure that out. Okay, so why that is happened, right? So even here now, if you look at somewhere here, focus, okay, let's go back, background, breakpoint and media queries, we will look at that in the our media query here, or basically the screen sizing, right? We will look at that as well. Customizing your theme, okay? So font family, right? And then see, that's how it added, you know. Okay, I think, did we put a comma there? Okay, let's check, right? Let's check. Yeah, there is comma, you know. So maybe this will be together. Okay, now if I go back and try, oh, now finally it worked. Sorry guys, it worked, right? See, so the problem was this space. We should not be leaving space here. SERIF, right? IF, serif. Okay, that was also the missing part. Okay, so now you can see the difference, right, already. Clear? So that's how you can extend any property from the CSS, right? You just add here, like, you know, sometimes in your site you want to have some extra color or whatever you want to add, you just include here in the extend and then use that one. So The using part will be same, you know, like if you have color, then you just call the text, you know, maybe violet, right? Whatever. So whatever, if you have any color, you can use here 500. So now that text will be violet 500. See that? Simple. Okay, so that is the basically the font, right? Font. So font family and how to use that. Now it always says breakpoint, right? Breakpoint and media queries. So how do we use media query in our CSS? How we use, right? Basically in our Tailwind. Remember there I saw you last time the screen with the different size, small, medium, large screen, double XL, 2XL and all that, okay? So the screen is here, right? Customization in the screen, and see the media at the rate media, right? This is the size. So this is the mobile first concept, right? Your app will be for mobile, and then after you go above this small size, then whatever you put the CSS here will be applied, okay? If you go above MD, then this will be applied, right? Above MD, whatever CSS is there, it will be applied. The large will be above this size, XL will be above this size, and 2XL will be above this size, right? That is the media query. So you just have to remember small, MD, large, XL, 2XL, okay? So just remember the shoes size, right? Who is wearing small size, medium size, large size, XL size, and 2XL size, right? Okay, just remember that, and how we use that I'll show you now. So up to 2XL you have right now, right? The screen size. So how are we gonna use? I will quickly show you now. Just give me a second. Just imagine, right? This one, this text, okay? There is font Oswald, but I want to apply this above the small size only, above small, right? So okay, so what I will do, I'll just put small here, same like applying media query, right? That's it. So now below this Oswald will be applied above the small size, like 640 pixel, right? So let's look at the design now. Oh, sorry, here. See, it still looks same, right? Why? Okay, because above, I said above 640, right? That's why. But when I make it small now, look at here, it will not work, right? But when we go above 640, it should change, okay? Did it change? Yeah, something is not correct. Why? Maybe slight different, right? But I don't see big difference, you know. Okay, let's do one thing, right? Text. Okay, let's do one thing. So I will apply here the other one, right? Like a font. What is that? The mono, maybe mono. Let's put that one. So see. So this is now Oswald. So if I go small, it all looks same. Font Oswald. Let me make it MD, right? MD, like little large size. Okay, now expand this. Okay, now it's different, right? I mean, guys, let's see. This is Oswald, okay? This is Oswald, right? Not yeah, Oswald. But when you go small size, so let's look at the go below. I think 700 something, right? See that it changed now. It changed to mono, right? Mono font. See. So in the mobile, like below MD, like small device, right? Below MD. So whatever 7 something is the MD size. Okay, MD size is how much? 768, right? So below MD will be whatever you applied. Even I can do hidden, right? I think better will be, let's put it hidden here, okay? Hidden, right? So it's hidden, and after MD, right? I will leave the font, but after MD I will make it block. Okay, let's see, block, right? and see what happened. So normally in the beginning it is hidden, okay, but when you go above MD, right, it will just appear. See that? So that's how the media query work, okay. Like you go from whatever you apply in the small, and then you want to add something in the bigger screen. What bigger now? Small, above the small, or above the MD, or large, or 2XL, right? What you want to add now. So I think better also I can demonstrate now. Let's do one thing, okay, not hide, but we can change the font size, right? So what I will leave this one on the beginning, okay, beginning right here. So just this is, and once you do this, right, you will understand everything now, okay, almost whole media query, right, you can understand. So let's say in small size, small, what I will do, I'm gonna make text, right, text LG, okay, I will make LG. Then in medium I will make text 2XL, right, okay, and large I will make text maybe 4XL, like that, okay. And then after large, what we have, XL, right, XL, I mean you can apply, right, you can make text, you have to put together, no space, okay, text 5 or maybe 6XL. Is there 6XL? I don't know, okay, just leave it, right, yeah, that's fine. Now let's go back and check. So that is maybe medium size, so it's just not changing, right, so there's something, the number may be not correct, so let me delete this for now. And font Oswald, small text is LG, okay. Wow, so I have maybe done something wrong, right, let's check. So a small device text is LG, that font size 125, right, 18 pixel. MD device, oh, see what I have done here, text and then the number, right, text then the number. So if I put here text, that is 36 pixel, here is 24 pixel, and this one is 18 pixel, okay, fine. So we can define even 2XL also now, XLG, let's make XL, and then you're gonna put text 6XL, right, so, or maybe 6, what was that, 6, yeah, XL. Now maybe you're surprised, right, why XL in the beginning and why XL, so there is size also XL, okay, there is different size also, right, so that is two different things. So that is 60 pixels, 6XL is 60 pixel here, look at that. Okay, let's go back now. You can see now, right, see how it is moving. So on different screen size, you just change the font size, okay, clear. So similarly you can apply the media query now for anything. So slowly you're gonna learn, right, just remember, for media query you need to have all these sizes, size, space, basically colon, and then whatever you want to put, right, SM or MD or LG, and then colon, and then what you want to apply now in that size, what you want to apply, right, that is the thing, okay. It will work not only for this, you know, let's say on Excel, right, in Excel I will apply, let's say I will change the color, okay, so I will put BG, okay, BG blue, maybe let's make it 800, right, look at that. So you know, when we reach Excel size, the background will change something like this. I can add, right, XL, then I will put padding now, right, padding maybe let's make it 10, okay, all side 10, right, so let's see now how it looks, okay. So go back and refresh the page. So right now we are not in Excel size, okay, we still I think medium, right, so let's move this. So it changed when I cross the XL, look at that. So there is background color with the padding 10, correct. That is the media query. I mean, remember all that property: small, medium, large, uh, what is that, XL and 2XL, and based on that one you apply the media query, right? I hope that is clear on the media query. Everyone clear? Yeah. So just remember the size, right? Remember, and then you just put the size and the whatever property, any property you want to apply, okay, just put there, right? So it'll be fine. So you just have to experiment in the beginning. You're not going to remember now. Just once you start experimenting with simple example, take one heading one and put the media query, right? And then apply any property like change the color or font size or maybe background color, add padding and margin, whatever you want to add. So when you cross that screen size, then that effect will take place, okay? That is what we do in media query, right? When you switch to the certain screen size, we apply the property there. So it's all there now, right? I hope you can, I mean, we're going to repeat, still we're going to continuously repeat, right, in our examples, but I just remember that for now. Okay, so next, yeah, so next is what now? Let's move, right? Let's go to the next one now. So after our typography, you can read through here, you know, there is some examples, you know, like a margin, I mean, there is text, not, I mean, here is a text, how you can apply font, bold and all that, right? Text color. So these are all part of typography. You can make a text size, you know, LG, 3XL, whatever. So you can check the size also, okay? Now spacing, what is spacing now, right? So spacing is basically, you know, same thing we said, how to apply. You can give a margin, padding. There will be negative also, right? Like to go negative, you know, from certain size you can go minus, right? So you can even apply the negative margin, padding, like that, okay? So there will be something like margin X auto, margin Y auto, you know, space X. You can even give the space X, right, just to add some horizontal spacing. Space Y will be vertical spacing, okay? So there is all this sizes space. So let's go to the Tailwind and look at the space now. Tailwind space, where is that? So you can find here somewhere. Spacing, right? So see, spacing is basically padding, margin and space between, okay? That is what we say. So now when we talk about padding, okay, there are like a 4 side, right? Top, right, bottom, left. So how it is applied now? First let's talk about x-axis, that is left and right. Y-axis, top and bottom. If you want to put padding and number, that is all side, right? P dash something will be all 4 side. X will be left and right. Y will be top and bottom. Next will be, let's leave this one. I don't know what is that, right? PS and PE. Inline in, okay, so padding inline start. Okay, so only one side, okay? Padding as inline in the same line starting, right? In the starting side and inside. Okay, that is something new. I did not know that one. Now there is padding top. Now look at here, right? Any side you want to add, padding top, right, bottom, left. Correct? That's it. This is what you have to remember. So as long as you remember that, the work is done, right? And now you give a size now, okay? Size will be whatever size you want to give. So look at here now. We start from here, right? Padding 0.5. You can apply 1, padding 1, padding 1.5, 2, you know, you have 2 size, 2.5, so basically 3. So all these are already classes. You have to use, make sure you just use same like this, right? If padding X, then number is 3. The number will be 3.5. So how far it will go, right? Let's check now. So 12, now it's changing. So 12, 14, there is no 15, right? You cannot do padding 15, okay? You cannot do that. You have to do 14, 16, then 20, 24, 28, 32. So it looks like all the number are like an even number, right? Yeah, even 40, see that? 44, normally 48, 52 is there. Okay, I mean, how far you can go now? 60 until 96, right? So just remember there is a lot of padding. Okay, so you can choose any number. This number is just have to, you know, normally we do what, 2 or 4 or 6 or maybe 8, you know, or maybe 4.5 in the small size, right? Normally, okay, here are some small size also in the beginning, odd number also, 3.5, 4 and 5 and until 6, I think 6, 7, 8, yeah. So in the beginning there is all, right? Until 10 you have everything. 11 also is same, 12 is also same. So that is enough, right? Okay, that is enough. From 14 you start like the 14, 16, 18 like that. Okay, so remember this number, right? This use all same, this number will be same size everywhere. So sometimes you may be thinking, oh, I put padding something, right? Maybe P-13 and it did not work. Don't get surprised. You just look at the number, right? The correct number. Okay. Same thing with the margin. Okay, there is no difference. Exact same thing. Okay, if you look at on the bottom, right, you get there is something margin auto also, margin left, right, auto, but until 96 you can find, right? Okay, that is margin. Same margin Y, margin X, Y, and then you have the margin top, margin right, bottom, left. Okay, all that number, and just use the number, whatever number you want, how much margin you want, you know, just use that one. Clear on that? So simple, M and then the number, right? But where you want to add, you have to remember that margin top, right, bottom, left. Normally, or we do x-axis, margin X or Y, right? Margin X or margin Y. Okay guys, so remember that one. That, I mean, we using all every day, right? Padding, margin, this will be easy to understand. So is space between now, right? So that is space, you have to just use space between if you have two element, you know. And before we used to do like a margin top something, margin bottom something, right? You add this gap. Now there is another property, just space, right? So if you put margin X, that is x-axis, whatever number, right, that will be whatever the size of that, you know, so that is X, margin left is 0, right? So see, this margin X 0 will be left 0, margin Y 0, margin top 0, right? X 0.5 left top. So where is top? Where is the left and top? So where is the right? There is right somewhere. So it's only talk about the margin. Okay, so it's just the left and top, right? That's it. So if you need to put margin on the left side, you can put margin X, sorry, space X, and whatever the number here, 3, 4, 5, right? But you know, basically you can use like a margin. Why not we just use ML, right? Margin left. The benefit of this one I will tell you now, right? Remember, there is two element and you want to have a space between, and then you know, like a, you want to have margin on the left side only, right? So the second element, if you say space X 5 or 4, whatever, right, number, that means it will just put margin left on that side. But again, same thing, you put M, L, margin left on that particular element, and that will apply also same thing, margin left. So you decide what you want to use, right? Okay, so that is spacing. What is the sizing now? So sizing, utility with width, right? Width, sizing. The first one is width. Okay, then there is mean width, max width, height, mean height, and max height. So the width of the element, how much we can give the width of the element. So let's try here, right? Let's go back and look at the width now quickly. So again, there are some numbers, 0.5, 1, 1.52, all the way, right? If you go down, you can go, there is even some kind of like a fraction number also, right? You can see all this. With full screen, mean, max, and fit, right? All that. So with fit content, max content, mean content, width screen is view width, right? Width 100 view width screen, that is width screen. Width full is width 100%, right? 100%. So it depends, like see 70%, 66%, that is the width of the screen. So let's say I want to apply width, right? And I want to make around 50%. So W 3 by 6, that is 50%. So let's go back here, and in our, what you call that, okay, let's make a one div here, right? Div, and call it something. I'll just give paragraphs with some text. Okay, now what I will do, right, class name, I'm gonna add margin, okay, top and bottom. So that is, let's put margin all side, right? And I will make it, so it gonna be spaced out from everyone. Okay, so if we go back and check our site, where is that? Here. So see, there is space now from all side, right? Margin, there is top, bottom, everywhere. Okay, now I want to give a width now. Okay, width to this one, right? So width, so that is simple. Width, you can apply even square bracket and give it maybe 50%, like this will be fine. Okay, that will also work perfectly. See that now it become 50%. If you remember the number 3 by 8, so in that case you can just apply 3 by 8, right? And that will be also, so let's look at here what is the, that means, can I click here? Okay, it's just not giving. Save this. Why it not displaying 8 by something? Maybe that number is not correct. So what was the number? Let's check. Oh, 3 by 6, guys, sorry, 3 W dash 3 by 6. So 3 by 6, there is no 8. So now if I look at now, okay, see that, so that is width 50%. Clear? And if you want to have a background dash light, no, let's get it lime, right? Maybe lime, maybe 200. Okay, so if we do that, it should look something like this. Yeah, how you gonna center this? How you gonna center that? So see, the all the margin is on the right side. So remember, same trick, margin x-axis, left and right, auto, right? And it will be center now. See that? That's the same trick. Okay, let's I mean, you can increase the height also, right? There is a height. You can give a padding inside, right? You can add a padding of maybe, let's make it 10. Okay, so there will be padding all side 10, right? Correct. You can give increase the height. So if I go back and I will make height, so that is height, how much? Let's make it full, right? Full. Did it work? So there is something called full, no, right? Yeah, with height is 100%. See, it did not work, right? So you have to make what, height screen. Okay, screen. So that means view height, right? If you want to make full height, you must apply screen. So that will take the 100% of the view height. So it just took the 100% of the view height, right? Yeah, in the center, and there is still margin, padding, everything is there, right? But just the height increased to 100%. So sometimes if you see that the image, background image did not appear, you always look for a height and how it is set up, right? Because every elements most likely is collapsed in case of background image, right? If there is no text, you're not going to see. But if you start adding the content, right, it's going to grow height. Okay, yeah, so that's the width. What is mean width? I mean, you can set up the minimum width, right, of the element. Just typing mean width will be this. Mean width, mean width max, like mean width max content. Okay, so that will be mean width with max content, right? Mean width will fit content. So mean w fit, right? That is the class name. So I mean, even sometimes you're gonna in the width is important part, right? Normally what you do, you use the width to set up the container, correct? Container, right? So how you set up the container? So this width, let's say this is my container, right? For the large device, okay. So what I will do, I will go back here, right, and I'll say 1280 pixel, correct, and that will be in the center, right? So that is maximum width is what? The width is 1280 pixel max width. So even I can now, what I can do, right, I can say max width 1280 pixel. See, max width, yeah. So that is what we can do. So look at now, let's see what, so that is 1280 pixel, right, already, because I don't have space and I have like large screen size, that's why it looks something like that, crazy, okay. So 100%, that is 1280 pixel, right, and it is in the center already now, max X auto. So okay guys, so let's keep it up to here. Tomorrow what we will do, right, we will continue, okay, we'll continue until we finish all these classes, basically the properties, right? So we have looked at what we have looked at color. Just look at all this property: color, background color, border, typography, spacing, sizing, correct? Tomorrow we're gonna go grid and flex and maybe layout, right? We'll just look at grid and flex, or we just do flex, right? And then we're gonna work maybe using all this, we're gonna just do simple exercise, okay. Then remaining will continue. So please, if you have time, even go through this, just practice, right? Just practice, start with the project from the CSS. I hope you guys are still working on that, right? If you go back to our CSS folder, my internet is very slow, what happened? Okay, here let's go back to the CSS folder, and in our project section, why I'm saying just use this one, right, as example. You can, if you already have confidence, you can use any exercise, any project, right? Not that one. What is that? Here, right? So go to the basic page structure, and then look at all this simple exercise. Start from the beginning, right? Because now you already have structure what to do, okay. This will tell you what to do, right? Now you use the Tailwind and design same thing. Just do this one, design here. See how you can do it with the Tailwind. Do that one, right? Create this one with Tailwind. See how you can do that. Practice this. Practice this one with Tailwind CSS in your React project. Practice this one, right? This whole thing. Keep moving, right? I think if you can do all this exercise, right? If you can finish all this exercise, and the final will be here, right? So after flex tomorrow, I will just create something, like simple with a nav bar and all that. We're gonna add the font also. We're gonna add the icon also, right? We're gonna learn how to use icon, font, and create simple nav bar like this. We can do that. I'll just take this one example and then work through, right? Because once we finish the flex, now we have the use of flex box here. So we're gonna use flex and also grid to style the whole site, okay. So yeah, so let's practice for today now. I will stop here, guys. Any question you have? Anyone?